edition of the Kellerhals Team Happy Hour, where we have our coffee mugs this morning.
Best grandma in the world.
Yeah,
That's who I am today.
Good one for you. This morning we've got Andrew Zito, General Manager of the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Yes, sir.
Excited to have you.
Oh, dude, thrilled to be here.
Yeah, so first question that I have to ask, I don't think I've ever asked you this. Any relation to Barry Zito?
No. When I was a kid playing baseball, he was in his heyday with the A's. And then he got signed by the San Francisco Giants. He signed a $125 million contract.
Yeah.
And he was always my uncle as on the baseball field. And I quickly didn't see any of that money. I didn't get any invites out to San Francisco. I didn't learn how to play guitar like Barry Zito, so he stopped being my uncle that day.
I mean, is there any distant relation? You got any idea? Because it's not like it's a common last name.
Man, I don't know. I don't think so. There's a famous horse jockey out of in Kentucky named Nick Zito. And he's a big trainer and whatnot. No relation, but I don't ever hear many Zitos. I think there's 2 or 3 in Chattanooga besides myself.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming in today. But I really wanted to, just to me, being general manager of a minor league baseball team sounds like one of the coolest jobs in the world.
It's pretty fun.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that's not fun.
No, definitely.
You don't see it, but let's back up. Like, how did you get that job?
Well, I started as an intern in 2012, and I went to the baseball winter meetings, and I had an opportunity to come to Chattanooga as the food and beverage assistant. I was an intern. I was getting paid $600 a month, and they put me up for the summertime. And I knew Chattanooga was in Tennessee, and the Chattanooga Choo Choo was a song.
Where
was it.
From?
I was in Florida.
Okay.
I was coming out of UCF in Orlando, and I was just working. I was working in restaurants. I was making money, and I was spending as fast as I could. And I had a friend look at me, and he said, "Dude, we got degrees. We're better than this. It's time to go." He sat me down in front of a computer, and we went to the baseball winter meetings in Dallas that year. This was in December of 2011. I put 52 resumes down. I got 11 interviews and 1 job opportunity as an intern. It was here in Chattanooga.
Okay, hold up, back up. So, baseball winter meetings, is this like for all levels of baseball?
It is.
So, major league down to summer ball?
It is, and it's evolved a little bit over time. But when I was there, it was a collection of major league, minor league, the trade show, so all the fun things you see at the ballpark, all the merchandise, all the novelties. It was a big job fair for job seekers like myself. Trades were happening at that point. I saw Brian Cashman, the general manager of the Yankees, in the lobby. Trevor Hoffman, former lookout and Hall of Famer, bought me a beer at the bar. So it really is this collection of baseball. Now it again has evolved over time, but at that time it was just a giant job fair and an opportunity in the door.
And anybody can go.
And everybody could go.
You could buy a ticket. Or
you bought a pass and you registered, and I registered as a job seeker, and it was the door that opened for me.
That's mind blowing to me.
It was so cool.
Idea. Okay, so anyway, so you go there with your resume and you're literally just handing it to teams?
Man, there was this whole process. They posted jobs. You put the resume in the bin. They would evaluate it. They'd call you if they want to talk to you. And I remember vividly, Rich Mazingo, the president of our team, I was at the trade show, and I was exploring all the stuff, and he said, "Hey, I'm Rich. I'm with the Lookouts. I want to talk to you about an internship." I said, "That's awesome. When can you do it?" He said, "How about right now?" He said, I said, "Well, I'm at the trade show. I'm about 15 minutes away." He said, "How about right now?" And so I walked out of the trade show. I hustled across the Hilton Anatole in Dallas, and I met Rich and John in an elevator hallway. Like in a hallway, there's a room right behind me, and I'm just bookended by these guys. And this is my first like real interview for a job. And I just remember bouncing back and forth, looking at them, answering their question, kind of ping pong style. And then he offered me the job, and I said, "Man, that sounds great. I'm gonna keep exploring. I don't know anything about Chattanooga. I'm gonna keep interviewing." And he said, "That's great. Job's still open. Let me know." I said, "Okay." So the day went by. I talked to my buddy that I went out there with, and I said, "Man, I think this is the opportunity." We found him at Rangers Stadium. There was a big shindig at Rangers Stadium, the ballpark at Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
And I found him, and I said, "Man, I'd love to come to Chattanooga." And that's how I started.
Now, how old were you at this point?
Gosh, I was a little bit older. I did the victory lap in college, so I was the 5-year guy. And so, man, I was 24, 25, probably 25 at the time.
But you're a kid.
Still a kid.
Yeah.
Still a kid.
Wow, that's a really great story.
It was fun. It was fun, man. I moved to Chattanooga, and I knew Chattanooga was in Tennessee, and that was about it. My first experience was Exit 1 before it had been revitalized, and I said, "Man, okay, here we go. This is Chattanooga. They promised me the most beautiful city in Tennessee and one of the best in the world. And I'm like, I'm seeing tire places and check cashing places at this point in time. And I'm like, gosh, did we do the right thing? The next morning, came down the ridge cut, saw Chattanooga, and was like, I get it now. And that was it, man. I worked hard enough where at the end of the year, there was one job opportunity available. It was in group sales. And I tried to create as much value for myself during that process. When they said, can you? I said, yeah, I can. What are we doing now? Or will you? Yeah, sure. Pick me. I'll help. And at the end, I knew that they would be worse off if I wasn't there. And they offered me a job, and it was selling tickets. And that's how I got started.
All right, so you get a job selling tickets. Give us the progression from there to general manager.
Yeah, so it was so it was concessions, and then it was selling tickets, group sales specifically, much like you guys do, bring a bunch of people out to the ballpark, fellowship, have a good night. But I was still running a lot of the food and beverage outlets at that time. Again, just trying to be present, trying to create as much value. And then I was the senior director of group sales, then the director of group sales, and then the vice president. And yeah, here we are today.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this a little bit, about what a general manager of a minor league baseball team does, because I don't know the answer to any of these questions. We've not talked about this before I came in or anything. So you don't do like payroll for the team. I assume that is handled by the major league field.
Great question, and this is what I tell all people, anybody who'll listen, job seekers, people trying to come in. We handle everything outside the lines. So who's playing second base, who our field staff is, trades, player salaries, housing accommodations, not me. Game times, experiences, bus travel, the feeling you have, ticket sales, food and beverage, that's all me. Okay. So there's a partnership. The Reds is our affiliate. They handle everything between the lines, and in the locker room, we handle everything outside the lines.
Okay.
Different than a general manager at the major league level. Right. So I mentioned Brian Cashman. Man, he's cut trades. He's decided to sign Aaron Judge or whatever it might be. Not me. Whoever they send, they send.
Is that like what's your dream? You keep moving up the ranks. What's the dream job?
Jake, a lot of people ask this question, and my answer is always the same, and it's, I love where I'm at in minor league baseball because I'm not just a cog in the wheel. I'm not just a number. Every decision, every relationship I make here affects the direction and bottom line of our business. If I'm a ticket sales guy or sponsorship guy for the Yankees, man, I'm just a guy. Like, I'm replaceable. That job's still posted here. When we're having this conversation, when I'm out making friends in the community, when I'm selling another ticket, it materially affects our business. And so I have a chance to be really impactful in this community. And through this outlet of Lookouts Baseball. So I think I'm where I'm at in the sports world. I'd love to keep moving up and really be like the president of the team and run the business side of things. But right now, man, it's fun. Yeah. I get to meet cool people. I get to provide great experiences, and I get to go to the ballpark every day.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No, it doesn't stink.
Sounds like a job that a lot of people would dream about, loving to have.
It's not as glamorous as it sounds. I'll tell you that.
That's the next question. That's a perfect segue. I was like, what are the negative, maybe not negative, but what are the parts of the job that you don't wake up and go, oh boy, I get to do this?
Tarp pulls. I'll start with tarp pulls.
Do you actually pull the tarp?
Every time. Every time. It doesn't matter who it is, from top to bottom, we're out there pulling the tarp. If the tarp doesn't go on the field, the game doesn't happen. All those promises we made go out the window. So I don't love that. Weather, things out of our control, that's gonna be taxing on me mentally. Is it gonna rain today? I've sold this. I promised this. What's gonna happen? Now you're bringing out a couple hundred people. What is it going through your head? I can't get 5 people to go to dinner together. I can't imagine getting 200 people to go to a ball game. What are they asking you questions? So just managing those things and things out of our control, that gives me a little bit of stress. Dealing with managers can be a little bit taxing at times because they have their own agenda. We don't have pitching today, or we don't want to play, or I don't know. It's just there can be other factors outside the control that can be taxing. But man, the hours I think is really what it comes down to is we work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, but on a game day it's 9 to 5 and 5 until the last person's out at the end of the night, and we do that 6 days in a row. And then we end on Sunday, and we're back to work 9 to 5 on Monday. And so, what is challenging can be the grind of a baseball. You hear about the dog days. Mm-hmm. It's a real thing. Front office as well. We play 69 home baseball games. That's a lot of games. You look at football, you got 8 home games. You look at soccer around here, maybe you got 16. 69 baseball games. That's a lot of baseball. So physically it can be taxing throughout the summer. But I mean, that's really it. You go to bed, you drink water, and when I'm working a game, I'm still at the ball field. I'm still talking to people. I'm still watching what's going on. So am I really working? You know, you get that that great balance.
Now, how many on a game day? See if you know the answer to this. How many people are working for the Lookouts on a game day?
Well, this year at Erlanger Park is going to be about 250 people.
Wow.
Every single game. Through ushers and security and ticket takers and, you know, food and beverage and all of that. So it's about 250 this year.
So I thought you would say the part you don't like is like managing that many people, and that the people no show, no call, you know, stuff like that.
You know, that is absolutely part of it. I do a little bit less of that these days than I used to. But man, yeah, just dealing with people can be a challenge, and scheduling and just management. And you get this, you're leader of an organization. Management's the hardest thing we do. Communication, pushing the right buttons, the motivation factors. Why are we here? You know, if you're working for the Lookouts on a game day, you're not paying your mortgage. You're having a fun summer job. So how do we keep people invested and excited and want to be around what we're doing? It can be a great challenge for us.
Well, and that'll probably be a little easier this year for you.
I sure hope so.
So I want to segue into that. You got a new stadium opening up.
Yeah.
So as we're filming this, we're a few weeks out.
27 days.
Well, when we post it, I don't know how many days.
Okay.
But so how's it coming? I mean, are you going to make opening day?
Oh yeah, we're gonna make opening day.
Okay.
Physically, we'll see if I make opening day, but yeah, we're gonna make opening day. The ballpark is coming along. It is spectacular. It is going to be a game changer for our community. It's so much more than just baseball. It really is a community venue. You know, we have 40,000 square feet of conditioned event space. You can come to the game and experience it in 5 different ways, 5 different times. So it is going to be a game changer for our town. We are going to be on time. The ballpark construction's almost done. EMJ, local contractor, they're ahead of schedule. Maybe there's some punch list style things, maybe a little paint mark here, an outlet cover there that we'll have to work through during the first homestand. But construction-wise, it's coming along. Building of the team, the staffing, that's coming along. You know, now it's just executing on the promises that we've made, and that's what's keeping me up a little bit right now. Is there's a lot of expectations out there now. How do we rise to our game to meet those expectations?
So talking through construction of a baseball stadium doesn't happen all that often.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah. So like you as the general manager, what has been your role in that? I mean, what are you responsible for? Is it adding more to your plate? I'm sure that
it is. It is. Again, like the baseball itself, trying to focus on my world and the controllables, which is outside the lines, you know, the ticket sales, the sponsorships, the hiring right now. Rich Mazingo, the president of our team, he's really in it on a day-to-day basis. So he's working with change orders, which can be the bear of everybody's existence.
Whether you're building a house or a baseball stadium.
Gosh, right? It's just the scale. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. And the scale is just a lot of bit greater.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of more moving parts. So, man, it's a challenge for sure. Staying out of the way now that our offices are over there, moving in. You know, I was on a sales call yesterday, and they're drilling into concrete right above my head, and you just hear this obnoxious, loud rattle for minutes on end. So handling that can be a challenge, but it's really fun. It's really fun to be a part of. There's a lot of local contractors. It's a lot of great storytelling that's happening right now, and it's gonna be really awesome.
So I've been over there. I know this, but you know, some people watching this maybe have not been to the stadium. Maybe they don't know when they're going to get there. Just talk a little bit about the unique parts of the stadium. What makes this a really special ballpark?
Yeah, man, very thoughtfully designed. So we have taken inspiration from hundreds of other ballparks and incorporated into our own. Benchmark ourselves against the best in the country. 2 historic buildings. I mean, those are what really stands out. You know, this site was founded in the 1880s. One of the buildings on site was from 1882. It is a fixture of the ballpark. It is your front entrance to the ballpark powerhouse. Another building's 1936. Big giant open room. We have a food hall, our team offices, a conference room, and a massive event center that are fixtures of the ballpark that people get to experience everything.
They'll actually walk through that.
They'll walk through it. They'll have a group experience in it. They'll buy a hot dog in there. They'll use it on a non-game day, and they're on down the first base line and in the right field corner. And it's just, they're really awesome. They're really, really awesome. You know, a lot of other reuse on the site. Saw cut concrete that was on the site that's being used as landscape architecture retaining walls. Even the gravel in the tree beds and the landscaping was all crushed rock from the site. So there's a lot of Chattanooga to tell. There's a lot of story to tell. In fact, when you walk in our front entrance, you don't see a seat or a blade of grass for your first 100 feet. You see a building from 1882, 1885, 1936. So man, this is more than a ball field. This is a Chattanooga story and bringing new life into this area that employed 2,500 people in its heyday. You know, they were putting food on their plates, working in these foundries, and now it's going to have new life with new stories.
And so that super old building, pump house, is going to be for events.
It is.
We're going to have one there.
Yes, you are.
And you are right there in the right field corner, right? Outfield corner.
That's right.
And you're looking out over the thing, and it's the brick and the old timbers and all the. I mean, you guys retained all that stuff.
That's it.
Yeah.
the same roof trusses since 1882. The original brick. There was one building, the cafeteria. It sat on first base, so we couldn't play baseball there. We took it down, but we put all those bricks on pallets. They went back up in the building, and so now it's not just painted brick or red brick. It's red and blue and greens and pinks and purples, and the graffiti it acquired over its time. And it's continuing to tell this really cool story. So not a new brick, not a single new brick in the stadium construction, which I think is awesome.
That is awesome. One thing that I have talked to people about saying, I don't know that everyone realizes, the Riverwalk.
Oh, right through it.
Yeah.
Right to it, man. It is, when you park, you will walk on the Riverwalk. You will enter in center field. You'll enter in the right field corner. But that's your first experience. So whether you park on site or you park off site, you will use the Riverwalk to come to the park. During the day, when I get there in the morning, I'm going to unlock a gate, and you can come walk laps. You can eat lunch with me and sit on the berm. You can experience it as a public park, you know, from dawn to dusk on a weekday.
And so we're talking about, to clarify here, on non-game day,
correct,
it'll be open for people to use.
That's right. Yeah, non-ticketed events, come in, come hang out, walk laps, you know, come knock on my glass on the window and say hello, you know, come sit at the right field bar and just hang out for a little while. I'm not going to have any beers for you, but you got a place where you can look at the old architecture, look back at Lookout Mountain, and just to experience this place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like I'm imagining somebody's out on a run or a bike ride on the Riverwalk, they can just whip in,
That's
do a
it.
lap around the stadium, keep going.
That's it. Add a third of a mile.
Yeah, add something cool to their.
Yeah.
I think that part of it is really awesome.
It is, man. And I think about the other events. I think about coming down the tunnel. So it is built where we can do large concerts in the building. We can put a stage in center field. You can drive a semi-truck onto the field. It's been reinforced underneath, so it's not going to materially affect the grass. Put a stage in center field, do 13,000 people. So stuff like that will be really cool. But I think about like the Chattanooga Marathon. What if it finished at Erlanger Park's home plate? And you got to run down this tunnel and you get to see these old buildings and look out in the backdrop. What a cool experience that would be. You know, when your friends and family are sitting in a stand and they have restrooms and they have concessions and they have a really cool experience with the sun not in your face. Man, it's gonna be awesome for so many different reasons.
Man, you just brought up a great point because your current ballpark, everybody's looking at the sun.
Dude, we start every presentation, every conversation. I can't believe I didn't this morning. But we have oriented appropriately. So the sun sets behind the ballpark. Nearly every single one of our seats at game time is in the shade.
And one thing that I thought was really interesting, you have less seats in this stadium.
Yes.
Yeah, by how many?
So we have about 5,000 baseball seats versus 6,300, but our capacity is 8,500. And the reason for that is all of these group and social experiences. We have a large family berm that can hold 1,000 people. We have this pattern shop that can hold 1,000 people. We have other group spaces that can hold 1,000 plus people, plus drink rails, plus bar rails, plus all of the other social experiences. So it'll feel really full at 4,500, which is what you want at a ball game, right? You want that energy, you want that experience. So that 4,000, 4,500, it'll feel super full, but we can juice that number to about 8,500. So opening day, you know, we're gonna have north of 8,000 people in there. But the difference is we can spread them out. It's a 360 concourse. We have 18 portables. We have concession stands. We have a food hall. We have places where people can spread out. AT&T Field, we had this tipping point. Well, I could do 6,300 tickets. If I had 4,000 people in the building, it was a bad experience. You mean you're shoulder to shoulder. You're disconnected from the game. And it wasn't a great experience. Now we can spread people out, and I think we can have an awesome time in the ballpark.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome.
So real quick, talk about type of events. You're talking about game day events. People can rent spaces like we're doing one.
Absolutely.
Where you can host people for a game. It's also going to be available for other, if people are out there looking for a space to host things.
Yes. So during games, it's super fun and easy. Your entertainment's built in, your cleanup's built in, your food's built in, your tickets are built in. It's all easy and turnkey for yourself, right? I understand again, how hard it is to mobilize people for an event. So if we could just have it and built in and make it easy, that's going to be great for us. So we have tons of spaces. The Pattern Shop, up to 1,200 people on a game. The Kubota Club in center field, 300 people. The Powerhouse, again, 300 people. So, and then we can go all the way down. Concourse Suites, 15 people, and places in between. So game days, really a ton of great options for you. Non-game days, we have 2 full-time people focused on everything non-Lookouts baseball right now, and it's to activate these spaces. 17,000 square feet in the Coca-Cola Pattern Shop. We can play to dinner for 700 people. We can do a 1,500 person personal concert. We can do galas and fundraisers and dances and networking events, and that's in one location. Again, we have 4 or 5. So, a conference room that can sit 60. If you're looking to do a fun lunch and learn, or a meeting, or a new team member welcome or orientation, come use it. Look at the field. Get off and out of your offices, right? Get off site. So tons of different ways to use it, and really, we're limited only by your creativity. And we're going to be able to do tons of stuff.
The thing that stuck out to me was on that large space. That includes a large patio looking out over the field.
One of the guys that you might know well, Lamar Brown, he tells me all the time, and I tell people all the time, this is the best seat in the ballpark. And it's on the patio at the Pattern Shop. And every time he's out there, he says, Andrew, or anybody will listen, that at the end of the year, this will be your best seat. And I think it will. That patio is massive. It comes out all the way to the dugout, and it puts you on the action. So when you rent that Pattern Shop, you get interior conditioned space, you get exterior space for game watching, and you have baseball seats down front. And it puts you on the action. It is really, really cool. Speaking of, our seats go all the way down to the field. So we built this thing, we dug out 10 feet, and you come in and you're on grade. So when you're getting a cold beer, you're getting a hot dog, you can still turn and look and see what's going on the field. But that means that those seats in the first row are field level. The net comes all the way down to your feet. There's about a 4-inch curb, but if you're in the first row, you are literally sitting on the field. The experience is really, really tremendous.
Yeah. So opening day sold out.
It did. Yeah, fast. Like 24 hours.
But then you got another 68 games after that.
Oh yeah, we do. That's a lot. And we're focused on really putting out a great experience for folks this year. So we've doubled down, of course, fireworks. Jake, in this town, if you blow something up, people are coming to see it. That's just the facts. So we're doing fireworks every Friday. We're bringing in national entertainment acts like Harry Potter will be here. We're going to do Grateful Dead night again. We're going to do Ed's Dinosaur Live with animatronic dinosaurs. We're going to bring in kids characters like Bluey and Daniel Tiger. We're going to do an Oktoberfest. We're going to do all sorts of fun things to just engage and create a reason for people to come that's not baseball. At our level, outcomes on the field don't matter. And this is what's different in minor league and major league baseball. When you root for the Braves, win or lose, that's going to affect how you feel, your mood, what's going on. You root for the World Series. At our level, it's much more about the experience that you have when you're around it. You don't really have the affection to the right fielder. There's no 10-year contract. There's no personal connection there. They could be here 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, maybe 2 years. So it's really about the experience that you have around it and less about the product on the field. And we really focus on creating and crafting something fun and engaging for everyone. So 68 baseball games, a lot to sell, but there's a lot of inventory and there's a lot of fun to be had.
All right, last question, and this will shift gears a little bit. Total curveball for you. Who's your favorite player that's come through the Lookouts?
Oh man, so I'm gonna give you a couple of different answers here, and I know that's the cop out. That's not fair. Corey Seager, 2-time World Series MVP, probably the best overall player I've ever seen. Okay. There's a shortstop. His name's Miguel Rojas. He's been in the league for 10 plus years. Dodgers and Marlins, World Series champion with the Dodgers. Best glove I've ever seen. Dude was just slick. Byron Buxton played center field. I've never seen anybody run like that guy. Running down balls into gaps, stretching a double into a triple, one time a triple into an inside the park home run. Just next level. There's a guy with the best arm I've ever seen, a guy named Pedro Baez. He was a third baseman that the Dodgers turned into a pitcher. But I mean, he's firing 97 from behind third base across the diamond, just a seed. So there's been some really, really great players. There's been some interesting characters like a Yasiel Puig, who was just next level, massive, all the athletic ability in the world, and then drove really fast down Nicola and had some trouble. And so there's been some really interesting people. The Lookouts have had Hall of Famers through here as well. Edgar Martinez was a lookout before my time. Trevor Hoffman was a lookout, again, before my time. Joey Votto, possible Hall of Famer, played in Chattanooga. So you really get to see the stars of tomorrow right here today. And the list keeps going on, but it was fun. You know what's interesting as well is the best players, Corey Seager, Jock Peterson, even Scott Schebler, guys that are kind of friend, they work the hardest. They're the guys you can tell they got it. They're there for early work. They're hitting off a tee in the cage by themselves. They're not dragging their behind out on the field when it's time to get out there. They're the ones out there cutting their teeth and grinding. And those are the ones that have had a decade-plus career in the big leagues.
Wow, that's worth the price of admission right there. Yeah, for all you kids out there wanting to play baseball, right?
Got to work, man. You got to work.
Cool. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming in this month. This was awesome. I can't wait to get to the stadium and